Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Abisola. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a very delicious meal called Amala and Abula with Bukka-style. So this is a complete meal and I'm going to be showing you how to make it. This is known with the people from the western part of Nigeria, and I am also from there, and this is even from my hometown, Ibadan. So today I'm going to be giving you all the details, all the full details on how you can make yours at home seamlessly. So we're going to start with Gbegiri. Gbegiri is made from beans, so preferably use your white beans, but if you don't have white beans, you can also use the onion beans or any type of beans you have at home. Now you want to peel your beans, so I'm using the easy way out. You can peel your beans the normal way, but I'm just going to process mine in the food processor. And if you have a blender, you can just press the pause side so your beans can actually peel, and this makes it easier to peel beans instead of wasting your time by peeling the rubbing of hand with the beans so that the beans can peel the skin. Anyways, the food processor had done most of the work of peeling, so I'm just going to pour this in my bowl, and then I will just do the remaining by washing off the skin. And guys, it's so easy to use your food processor to peel your beans because it saves you a lot of time and energy. Instead of going all about soaking and then doing all the peeling, this has saved you a lot of time. Now that I'm done peeling my beans, you can see how it is. For Gbegiri, you want to peel all the skin so that you don't have any dead skin. Then you go ahead to boil it. As you can see me, I just want to go ahead to do that now. I've rinsed out all the water, and then I'm just going to pour it in my pot. And then I went in with some hot water, and also I'm just going to go in with some onions. Some people can say they don't want onions in their Gbegiri. You can do that, but I prefer onions in my gbegiri so it can give it more flavor. Then I'm going with locust beans. For some people, they will prefer to put their locust beans after making their gbegiri, but not everyone likes to see locust beans in their soup. So in order not to do that, because we're still going to blend these beans, I prefer to put it from the beginning so that it can incorporate, that it can take in all the flavors from the iru, and by the time I sieve it out, it will not be a problem. Now this is what we're going to be using. So in the olden days, they used broom to blend the beans, but I'm going to be using this my hand blender. If you have a normal blender too, you can use that. I use this my hand blender because it's easier to go about, and also I don't need to wash it. My hand blender is from Buchi Mix, by the way. So once I'm done blending like this, I'm going to sieve it out. Some people always say they don't need to sieve their gbegiri out, but me, how I was taught is to sieve your gbegiri out so that it doesn't get too what's the name, solid. Gbegiri is not meant to be solid, it's meant to be watery. And guys, it takes a lot of time, and one thing is that if you don't sieve your gbegiri out like this, it will be too thick, and you have to be warming it every now and then, adding water, which is not good for gbegiri, because before you know it, your gbegiri will lose its taste. So it's best you just sieve it out like this, pour it back in your pot, and then continue your cooking. So now that I've sieved my gbegiri out, and this is what I have, now you're going with some pepper, that is cayenne pepper, going with some seasoning, and then you're going with some salt. So if you don't have cayenne pepper, can you use normal pepper? Yes, you can use, but make sure that you blend your pepper to be very smooth so that the gbegiri can have a very good look. Now that I've added my salt, I'll go in with my palm oil, and this gbegiri is almost ready. It's very easy to make gbegiri. It doesn't want to take time once you're able to get everything right from the beginning. So now just let this cook together, let the palm oil cook together, and once that is done, my gbegiri is ready, and I will go to the next thing. So yeah, gbegiri is part of what they call abula. Gbegiri and ewedu is what they call abula. So now let's make ewedu. For ewedu, this is jute leaves in English. So you just pluck your leaf like this, the way I'm doing. You don't pluck it with the sickle, because it's not like you're making a roll. This one, you're picking it from you're plucking out the leaf, and you are leaving the stick behind. So once you're done that, you want to rinse it, because some of them come with a lot of stones, and you don't want to be biting stone when you are eating. So rinse your ewedu properly like this under a running water, and once that is done, put some water on fire. you allow the water boil together, but because I've used boiled water for this, it will make it faster. Now going with some potash. If you don't have potash, you can use baking soda, and if you don't have any of those, you can even cook your ewedu without any of the two. I've cooked my ewedu before without potash or baking soda, and it came out looking good, and also it was okay. So now going with your washed ewedu, once that water boils together and the potash has melted in the water, now as you can see, I will just give it a good stir and allow it to cook together. This way you want your ewedu to soften in the hot water, and also by now your what the water for the ewedu will start drawing, because you want your ewedu to draw very well. Once that is done, you can use the broom I showed earlier to blend it out, or you use a normal blender like this hand blender, or you can even use your normal blender. Just pour it in your normal blender and blend. So now I'm just going to go ahead to blend, and I've blended that. Now I'm going to go in with some locust beans, iru to be precise, and then I will go in with some little bit of salt and seasoning. And at this point, your ewedu should just cook for like few seconds, and then you take it off the heat. Now the next thing you want to make is the buka stew. And for our buka stew, I'm going to be using beef, shaki, and let's just say inu for it. For those that don't know what inu is, assorted or offals. Now I've added my seasoning, I've added my salt, and then I went in some onions, and then I'm just going to go ahead to boil with some water, because the meat I'm using is kind of tough, so I have to boil with a lot of water so it can soften on time. Now while that is going on, I want to add more ingredients to the meat, so I'm going to be blending my garlic, ginger, and rodo. So I will just add it into my small blender, and then I added some water, then I went ahead to blend it. So now this mixture, now I'm just going to pour it in that meat so that it can be very flavorful, and also it can allow it to be soft and tender. So now I'm just going to go in with the mixture, the ginger mixture I blended, and then I'll continue to boil. See, if you have pressure cooker, it's good to boil. You can easily use a pressure cooker, because the meat I bought has this ponmo at the back, so definitely I want it to be soft before I cook with it. So now I'm just going to cover this up and then allow it to cook together for another few hours or minutes, and then once that is done, I'm just going to take the meat out and go ahead to fry it. So into my pot, I went in with some vegetable oil, and then I'm just going to flavor my oil with onions. Once my oil is hot enough to fry the meat, I will go in with the meat, and then I will allow it to fry. This is giving party stew abi. Yes, it is meant to be like that. So now I'm just going to take out the meat once it is raw done like this. As you can see, it is fried and golden brown. Then I'll go ahead to boil my pepper. So I'm using rodo, tatashe, tomato, and shombo for my pepper, and then onions. So I'll allow it to boil together. Once it boils like this, I'll go ahead to blend it to be smooth, because your buka stew is meant to be very smooth. It's not meant to be should I say rough? Yes, it's not meant to be rough, because it is for stew, not for atadidin. If we are making atadidin like pepper sauce, that will be rough, but for this we have to blend it to be smooth, and I'm using my butcher mix blender for this. So once my pepper, I blend it very well and it is very smooth like this, I'll pour in some palm oil in my pot, and then I will add some vegetable oil to it. The vegetable oil I'm using for this is the vegetable oil I used to fry my meat, so I'll just sieve it out and then add it to it. Add some onions, as you can see on the screen. I'll just go in with some onions. I'll allow the onions to fry and caramelize, like it is already giving that flavor. Then I go in with the blended pepper. So I'll put it in my pot and then allow it to cook together. While I'm doing that, I'm going to add some seasoning, and then I'll add some salt to blend. Your buka stew does not need too much of spices or seasoning. Just add some seasoning and salt, and you're good to go. Going with your meat, yes, because you want your meat to be soft and tender, of course, so you allow it to cook again in this stew, and then you can go in with your meat stock that you blended, like your meat stock that you reserved. Now you cover this to allow it to cook together for a few minutes, and then you go ahead to set aside. By now my stew is ready, as you can see, and honestly I can literally taste this stew as I am doing this voiceover. Like, I can taste it in my mouth. So just try it. This stew is very versatile, and it is a multi-purpose stew, and it's also called buka stew. You can use it for rice, amala, and any other swallow of choice. Now let's make the amala. So for our amala, we're going to be using elubo. So this is the method I use to make my amala, because I always don't want my amala to be lump free, and this makes it very easy to make. So I will sieve my flour, my yam flour, which is elubo. Then I will add some water. I'll mix it to a point. I will dilute the flour with some water, and then once it is done like this, I will go ahead to pour it in my boiling water. But before I pour it in my boiling water, I will take out some water, because I will still need it later when I'm making it. So I will go in with the diluted elubo, as you can see me do. It's just like saying you're making semo, but I'm using this method for amala. For those that are novice in making amala, you know that you are not so expert in pouring the elubo straight into the hot water, you can always use this. This will help you control the elubo very well, so it doesn't get to have lumps. So I'll keep stirring like this, as you can see me doing in the video, and then I'm going to add some more elubo. Don't forget to sieve your elubo, except your elubo is sieved from the market, but it's better you sieve it again when you get home, so that it doesn't have those chaff. So now once I mix I add the elubo flour to it, I will use this to turn it again. This way I'll be able to get rid of all the lumps. Now I'm just going to go in with the hot water I reserved earlier, and then scrape out the amala from the turning stick, and allow this to cook together. So I'll cover this to steam together for like few seconds, and once I see that my amala is good to go, then I keep turning again like this, and you can see how silky and soft this amala looks. Honestly, this really works for me every time. So you should try this recipe in case you've always struggled with amala making, and honestly I'm sure you will never regret it. So now I'm just going to serve it in the nylon, because I'm not eating this immediately, so I'm just going to serve it in nylon. And if you're eating yours immediately, and keep in the cooler. But if you're eating yours immediately, you can go ahead to serve in your plate. So I'll show you how to serve your amala and abula in your plate. And guys, if you have watched this video to this point, I'm sure that you have enjoyed it and you have learned one or two. So why not subscribe to my YouTube channel to make it easier for me? Please subscribe to my channel, also support me by dropping comments. I really need your comment to encourage me to go forward in this my YouTube journey. Now serve the amala in your bowl. As you can see me, this is how we serve the amala. For those that don't know, go in with your Gbegiri first, and then you will go in with your Ewedu. Can you see my Gbegiri? Yes, this Gbegiri was there for like hours, and it didn't thicken up. But so if you did not see your Gbegiri, it would have thickened up. It would have turned to batter, like you know that flour butter. It will have turned to it. Now serve your stew on it, and honestly you will enjoy this meal. Tell me, do you like amala? I don't want to hear you don't like amala. Amala is actually a very delicious meal that I can never say no to, and it is actually it's very easy to make if you can just get all the tricks around it. So now our amala, abula and buka stew is ready. So guys, that'll be all for today, and thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye.